Hello? Hello, hello? Anyone there?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, my headset was having issues with my headset. Otherwise, I'm here.
All right. Sweet. What's up?
Oh, nothing much. Is the
The guest is not going to be able to come in. I haven't gotten a response, so...
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we'll be able to go over KWDart. I was really hoping to head off the new year with a special guest, but maybe he'll come in next month, maybe in the month after. We'll see.
But
Grayshot's happy so we could talk about KWC stuff.
But Nagoda is here. We do have a special guest.
You're right. How could I have been so foolish?
Yes. Don't worry, Nagoda. I remembered you.
Yeah, Nagoda is not going to be able to vocally participate, so he's just listening in, more or less. Church and whatnot. So.
Okay, when I said special guest, I didn't mean like that. Now I just feel bad. Oh,
oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
But no, awesome. So we got quite a few people, but we've had quite a few matches since the. Hello, greetings.
All right. Yeah, I think we went over a couple of them last time, but I know that Grayshot hasn't given his thoughts, so I think at the very least we could probably just have Grayshot give his thoughts of the recent matches that have come out since December, and
yes,
we'll just go from there because I think
we could always talk about Planet Eater as well.
Yeah,
totally.
Content.
Oh, absolutely. I think I have a couple of things to say about Planet Eater that would be interesting. So I guess Oh, go ahead.
I think we all have things to say about Planet Eater.
For better or worse.
Oh boy, this is going to be a fun discussion.
Right? Oh yeah. But first we got KWCs to get through. And before that, hello everyone. Welcome to this month's KWCC for the new year 2019. Yay!
Yay!
I am your host, Kaiju X, and I bring to life Grayshot, Mothra is not Snack, Nagoda, and ZVG. Also known as Alex, anyway.
Eat a bag of dicks.
But anyway, last month I believe we went over, I think 244 to 248, I think. Or was it 245?
Itsuno? Here, let me check the KWC statistics. I think that came out. I could be completely wrong, but I thought that came out.
I think we only have to cover 249.
Right. Yeah, well, the rest of us can cover 249, but Grayshot...
And we didn't discuss the Christmas match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We did last month. It was very.
I just noticed something. 248 has a mistake.
What?
When you go on the KWC page, it only says Baragon versus Mechanicong.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, I thought there was another. Oh.
No, there's just two monsters.
Oh.
There's no mistake.
I thought there was another monster.
Nice try.
Actually, there is an actual mistake in there.
Let me guess, Joshua Reynolds.
Well, that too, but but it's supposed to say, I think you guys are trying to say Baragon's artistic, but it says Baragon is autistic.
Wait, what?
Well, in that case, then,
yeah, take a look.
Okay, where is it?
Artist.
I'm not where exactly?
Keep looking. It's on there.
Just keep looking. You'll find it eventually.
I am control effing the crap out of this, and I am not seeing anything.
I can't believe I got you two.
Gosh darn it!
Do it to him.
I should have. The New Year prank. You can't go with that. Oh man. Yeah, I think No, 245. I think that was the last one we had. Or 244 was the last one we covered Gray Shot around. We covered 245, 246, 247 when... Yeah, that's right, because 248 came up shortly afterward as normal, and then we have 249. So, yeah. But for 245, 246, and 247, we'll just let Gray Shot give his opinions of those 3 matches, and then we'll continue as normal. So...
Sweet. I guess I'll just dive right in then. Specifically for 246, I thought it was a very nice, simple match. Again, people were saying, "Oh my God, how could this not have happened in so long?" I kind of agreed to that. It is a match that I'm surprised wasn't on the site prior, but glad to finally have this classic matchup on. If you want to talk about like my absolute favorite things in regards to this match, first and foremost, the dive. Rodan diving with the Gauss was my definite highlight of this. That sounds stupid, but it was for me the best thing.
Right. I mean, it's nice to see, like, you know...
There was just so much detail in it. That was my favorite part. Like, the battle, yes, the beams weren't used that too often. It was more tooth and claw. But just how he described the dive and diving over the city and the monsters, like, going back and forth, I thought was just fantastic.
Oh, totally. I think that's the fun you could have with 2 dynamic aerial-bound monsters. Is like that's the kind of stuff you can, like, really go into and make it feel immersive and just, like, it feels fast. It has a certain speed to it.
Yes.
So, which is funny because it's like we definitely have faster characters here in the KWC, but it just feels like this feels like raw natural speed. So.
Yeah. That was again for my highlight. I still think it's a good match. I don't think it's a great one. I think it is a little short and there are like a few issues, but for the most part, what I will say is it is still a fun ride, and that is the best thing I can say about a KWC match. As long as it's fun, then you got my vote. Otherwise, going up, we have match 247. I'm sure GVJ's favorite.
Oh, yep.
It was his favorite. He was praising it all last month.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Totally was.
He was slothering all over that thing.
Yeah, I can understand why people are not the biggest fans of it, to be 100% honest. It is kind of... and I do...
said no to it.
I can understand people's perspectives when they say, oh my God, it was just the only reason he won was because of the ocean. And to be fair, that's the only reason Ebra won versus Kong and such. So I think there is a precedence for doing that.
There is a certain leeway for environment, but it's not one we don't want to see like every match do, for one. And 2, hopefully it better just like the Kong one works, because even though it was the pressure that killed Kong, I mean, I think it was still Ebra responsible for bringing him down there to begin with. So, and I believe that was the same it's been about a month, so I'm a little hazy, but I'm pretty sure that's a similar principle here, where it's like Manda being somewhat correct me if I'm wrong, but like Manda kind of bringing Bag into the area where the ocean kind of takes care of him.
Essentially Manda kind of brings him in, and it's kind of like it's like the ocean calls him, and Bagan, being as arrogant, chases after him, and it's very much Manda still assists. It's not like he just dies. If Bagan had just died in the ocean and Manda was nowhere to be seen, then I would be like, okay, no. But Manda just keep him contained and cause him to does hold him. And this is before, by the way, the Wings of Light was initiated. So that's why he doesn't have the flight.
Right. Well, it's not to say that you have to use that power, but yes, this was written practically in the wake of 190, so... there's Alex praising the match again with his yawns. I will admit,
so exciting that it puts me to sleep.
Yeah, it's anti-caffeine. That's what it is. It's not decaffeinated. It's just anti-caffeine. But to be fair, I think the ending at least also ties into that very first sentence, which I like. You know, there was sort of like a connection there. It's like, okay, cool. I have no problem with that. So
Yeah.
And like I said, and also as I said last time, the banner I think is actually really cool.
That's the other reason why it's like people were immediately like, oh, we can make custom stuff. I'm like, to be fair, this match is kind of the reason why I would say it would depend on the match is because for this one in particular, it has this old ancient aesthetic to it, like when you in regards to its style and storytelling.
Oh, right.
So, well, specifically the setting is more so that's why I allowed this ancient painting kind of style.
Hold on a sec. So does that mean we could? Are you trying to justify that as the same as having a news report going on with match 216, even though there wasn't a news crew following them, and the banner was kind of misleading?
Oh yeah, something like that. I suppose.
Because if we're going by that logic, then you might as well make the banners whatever you want, even if it's going to be misleading.
I would make the counterpoint and say 216. While it's not a news report, it was just the best. It was just a creative way to showcase the match.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad banner whatsoever. It's just going to be misleading to people expecting something like a news crew following them, or it's people watching it on the news. Mm-hmm. When really, the author portrayed it as this this apocalyptic scenario.
Oh, right. I mean, to be fair, this isn't the first time we've had misleading banners in the KWC. And as long as the banner looks cool, it's alright, but I do prefer to adhere to a banner that reflects what happens in the match.
I'm okay with a little bit of creative liberty, as long as it doesn't betray the match. For instance, 216, yes, there is no news crew in it, but it is an interesting way that you could see this happening in the match. You could see a news reporter crew filming this. But if you were to put these monsters on parchment paper and have them all fight together, I would say those two do not work. That is not the preference of the match.
But here's the thing: you're saying you could see a news crew follow them, but again, this is apocalyptic. I think a news crew is the last thing on people's minds. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're saying, "Oh, this is just if there wasn't a news crew and this was set like in, I don't know, normal times, like the world's not ending at all, and there just happens to be 5 kaiju attacking," then yeah, I can definitely see the news crew, that argument. But since this is an apocalyptic, that doesn't really make any sense.
Mm-hmm. I would say it makes more sense than having these 5 monsters on parchment paper in an ancient drawing. Like that would make no sense for this match. So as long as you can make an argument for it, I am fine with it. It's when the banner has absolutely no connection to what is then shown that I will say, no, this cannot happen.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but neither of those work for 216.
I would say you can make a better argument for it because technically there are humans. There are humans in 216. There was because the military was working because the military was there, and so were civilians in that match. Because there's a lot of emphasis on the humans on that match, as like Detroit is like one of the last bastions of it's like a city state almost.
Even then, I don't know. I can't get behind that argument regarding this with 216.
Okay. Understandable.
But fair enough.
Right. And plus, to be fair, even if you don't read matches, at least the way the banner's stylized makes it stand apart from the others. So it's like, even if you don't read KWCs you just look at the pretty banners, it's at least, it's something different. Like, the way it's presented is very different from other KWC banners. So,
yeah. It's a creative way to show the monsters, and it kind of ties into the banner. As long as there's as long as you can make an argument and it's connected, it's fine. But yeah, again, for 247, you could make the argument because this was an ancient tale of the sea fighting this demonic creature, and Manda was basically like the tool of the ocean. And therefore, I can definitely see the creative liberties used in this match for why Manda is with the surf and Bagan is with the fire. It kind of works. Mm-hmm. Right. So that is why I would be more open to it, and that's why I accepted this.
Okay, I guess I'll just make a random banner for a random match where it involves the kaiju in a sex dungeon, even though it doesn't take place in a sex dungeon.
It better take place in a sex dungeon.
But in any case, moving on to 248. This
what about
one.
245? You didn't cover 245.
Oh shoot! Thank you. I completely forgot. I guess. Sorry, we're jumping back to.
Back to.
Yes, Mothra Leo versus Mecha King Ghidorah versus Megaris. My match. First off, Landon Soto, fantastic banner on this one. Absolutely gorgeous. The amount of detail in regards to each zone being like the Ice Age, the future. You have like it's just wonderful all around.
You have two of the three iguanodons.
Yes.
They were vital. They were vital for completing the whole picture.
Yeah. But
Still
you also
needed all three.
Well, you got yourselves an armored Mothra and Godzillasaurus too. So
Great shot. Nobody gives a shit about those two. Iguanodon.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's why we retired him. No. The other thing I will say is this match I wrote a long time ago, and originally it was supposed to come out before match 200. Like, it was set, because of the massive rewrite in 200, there was actually a vital kind of plot point in this match that tied into 200 that I then changed, and I was like, well, I'll just which was, and it's going to sound really stupid, and this is why I changed it. Originally, how my match, what happened was, this occurred prior to 200, which is why Mothra Leo couldn't go and help in that match. But because Laura and Maul came back, they wanted to send a spirit essentially contacted them, and therefore they directed it to the island to carry a message to assist. And that message would have then met with Nick, who was basically comatose when he was shot in the head. I was going to have him talk to the spirit, and basically it would have been a spirit from it would have been someone that died in a previous match. Basically carrying on this like you have to Guardians of Earth can't help. You have to figure out a way to solve this. Again, looking back on it now, I changed it, but overall that I then got rid of all that story text and I replaced it with this, which was far more interesting, having this contact with Wilson and him basically learning that everything he's ever done was fruitless because his time machine doesn't just work through time; it works through time and space. Because multiverse theory, as a great show once said, is a bitch.
Yes,
Nerd.
But yeah, honestly, I already said my praises in the last one, but I
think we've all said our praises.
Right? Yeah,
I like this match.
Yeah, I think the changes you made.
Wow, praise from G. I will take it.
Great shot. I actually like the majority of your series, except for 164.
Okay,
I think you've heard me said that before.
Nope, definitely hate them all. Pretty sure.
Great shot to Mascus. He wants me to bring him pain.
No.
Wait, you
no.
But no,
like them all except 164, right?
Yeah, I like them all.
No, one of them sucks. They all suck. I'm just kidding. But yeah, honestly, it was a good thing you did change the story the way you did then, because this is like I said, this is a fantastic match, and the changes you made to make this version of the story the way it is, I think benefited.
Yeah, I would completely agree, because Laura and Maul, I wanted to give Laura and Maul more character, and I like the aspect of, well, Laura's always kind of the smart one, but she's headstrong, or Maul's the one that's intelligent but headstrong and trying to fix things, where Laura kind of sits back and kind of is the more emotional one. So I wanted to give them distinct characters, but I also really liked Wilson's arc in this, because if you guys don't know, the first paragraph is the Wilson in the normal timeline dying. That's what that first paragraph is, and was basically that's how Wilson died, and then you then cut to another Wilson, which is the one that goes back in time from another part, another dimension, or another universe, essentially, that comes through. So I kind of wanted to like see what like trick people into thinking like, oh, that was Grenko, or oh, that's Wilson. That's the normal Wilson in the normal timeline dying as Godzilla blasts him apart in the Mother. And then it's the other one that goes back and kind of sets things and kind of intentionally puts everyone else on their path.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's also a really good like trope or like a little nice hint. That's like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
Yeah. Otherwise, some other notes. Leo, I think, was the one monster out of all of them, it was the hardest to write for, because trying to come up with something creative, especially when fighting Megaguirus, which I will say this again, thinking about Megaguirus in the context of the movie and this match is OP. Like, I think Megaguirus is undervalued in the KWC by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
Because the fact that she can dodge most attacks instantaneously, the fact that she is so fast,
Dodge.
the fact that her agility is just so. I mean, yeah, she can't take hits. Like that's why like Mecha King Ghidorah gets a few hits, and that's why she goes down after Leo hits her with the ray a few times. But I still wanted her to come back after that, because I was like, nah, I want to incorporate her again because she was fun to write for.
I'll say this much, Gray Shot. You'll probably catch the reference. Megaguirus or Mothra Leo had reach, but Megaguirus had flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Megaguirus, especially against Leo, who is just. I like Leo being put in its place, because the one thing I hate about the Rebirth of Mothra is it's essentially just laser cannons galore, and I like putting a monster like that in its place where you can't hit Megaguirus. No matter how fast no matter how much you try, no matter what power you use, she's just too fast.
I don't know. Big Chungus could hit her easily.
Take blasted.
Well, he outsmarted her, and that's what I wanted Leo to do. And that's why, like, Leo diving in, like, using the Pyro Road, or at least her version of it, to break open the Earth, and then flying down to basically limit Megaguirus' ability to maneuver before she used her moths to, like, fly around her, causing her to be like, what the fuck, and then hit the wall, was just like, again, as an animal, you'd just be like, the fuck, and then you immediately get outsmarted. I wanted to stress Leo outsmarting Megaguirus, because that was the only way Leo could possibly win the battle. Mm-hmm. Mecha King Ghidorah was the one that actually had a chance against Megaguirus, because it could calculate, and it wasn't an animal. It could lock on, essentially. So yeah, I really enjoyed Megaguirus. Again, that's why it survived at the end of the match with that little tidbit at the end. Megaguirus is just underneath the giant pile of rubble in Nick's portal. So,
Gray Shot, you should have done what the anime trilogy did. Lude the Mothra twins.
No, make it interesting.
Well, I didn't have Laura try to hit on Nick, so I'm definitely not following in their footsteps. But yeah, no,
imagine the baby they would have had.
I'm not gonna think about how a giant man's gonna do it with a tiny woman.
No.
But okay.
On that note, though,
he would drown her.
I did have the one moment, looking back on it now, was just like, I think it's the most sexualized I ever had, which was like, I had Nick with his shirt off, and I described his muscular form, and I'm just like, Oh God!
Matthew Broderick isn't ripped.
No, but I could but the
animated one.
The animated one I could definitely see. The amount he runs and all that stuff, I could definitely see him being ripped, or at least being pretty fit. Fit. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I could agree with that, because it's like that dude runs. That dude friggin' runs. That dude is just like, monster.
That's all he ever does.
Well, it's more than the Matthew Broderick version, at least.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick drove. He took an Uber everywhere, basically, or at least he had a French Uber driver.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say.
Hey, back then they were called taxis.
Sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what was
I don't know what you're talking about.
And just one more real quick thing. That foreshadow. Well, I can't call it foreshadowing, but that alternate dimension, that was easily a highlight for me when you sent this over to me. That was that felt
good. Yeah, I like the idea of Wilson. I wanted to like stress that this was like another universe, and I was like, well, I could say a monster, but then people could get confused. I'm like, well, what if I just use scrap monsters? Like that way, no one is confused about this in my timeline. That it's like, so yeah, I stressed that with like Gigamoth and the Griffin, and having them being like the monsters that quote unquote that like sparks Godzilla's destruction of the world through the United States. And that like Japan's rise starts from that date, and yeah, that was a fun nod. The other fun nod I will say was having Laura enter PTSD. That was fun. Maul enter PTSD. Having her like sit in the ship in like a quiet trance, like kind of in shell shock after watching Fairy just like get stabbed through the chest by a random like crystal, and just her in like complete shock as like there's this event going on outside and she's just like so out of it she doesn't even realize what's going on. She can just focus on one word.
Also, to help nerf Mega Gears, have her participate in the Bird Box challenge.
Blast it.
Nah.
I think you just might make her more OP by putting her in the Bird Box challenge. Because I don't know, she just rushed through everything.
The only monsters I could see Mega Gears working with is it's very much a hit and run, and unless you have no energy to give whatsoever, in which case Mega Gears is kind of screwed. Because like if Mega Gears is fighting like Rodan, like normal Rodan, yeah, she's quick, but like Rodan's just as fast as agile, and he can tooth and claw real well. So if Mega Gears gets it close, he excels.
God,
well, to be fair,
that was a fight.
To be fair, though, like Mega Gears is actually a pretty strong hand-to-hand creature. Like those claws, they do a bit. She is able to go toe-to-toe in hand-to-hand combat.
True. I just immediately think of Rodan when it comes to like the original movie.
Oh yeah.
But with the whole Mega Nulons, but no, I just in general just being like, if your whole shtick is I use beams out of every orifice, like Leo does, then I like Mega Gears as a cool counter to that.
Absolutely.
And I like putting monsters in situations that they're not thought of as that role, as like a hard counter, as one would say.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how you build natural kind of like that's how you make the fight interesting. It's like, clearly you put one monster who usually has the advantages in these matches into a place where they don't have it. So it's like, how do you deal with it? It's
exactly
really cool. So with all that said, we can finally continue on to everyone's opinions of 248 and 249. And KWCE number 30, that came out recently or something.
GVJ, we can hear you typing.
Well, I can type whatever I want. Shut up.
But no, yeah, the 248. Yeah, this one. So I'll before you guys say your thoughts here. So here's what happened with this one. Joshua asked so originally I think it was Nick of the main site was like, "Hey guys, we're going to be a Christmas type event. We want everyone to contribute." And I was like, "Heck yeah, KWC will definitely contribute for a Christmas match." So originally I was going to write one, or I was going to like get everyone to write one on the KWC. I was like, "Hey, we'll all get like a Google Doc. We'll throw something together." I was actually thinking about maybe even getting my old one, updating it, but I could never find it. So while all this was going on, Joshua Reynolds was like, "Hey,
ew,
let's I want to do a Christmas match with Baragon and Mechanic Kong fighting at Santa's Workshop." I was like, "Totally, go right for it." Then it was the 23rd or 22nd, and I had been messaging him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, things are going well." Okay, yep, things are going well. 22nd, I'm like, "Okay, hey, so how's the match? Can you send it my way? I have the banner for it." Because Nagoda, being the awesome guy he is, put together that awesome banner, and it looked, which is amazing. And I showed it to him, and he's just like, "So I don't have the match." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I got distracted by Super Smash Brothers Ultimate or whatever, the new version.
Oh gosh, John.
And he was like, I never wrote it. And I was like, well, okay. So in any case, I kind of felt I felt annoyed because I had messaged like Nick the previous day, being like, "Yeah, I'll gladly, yeah, the match is still in progress. He's working on it hard because that's what I was told." And then I found out, nope. So I was like, "Okay, Josh, write whatever you want, write whatever you have. I will then take it from there." And Harley, and that's why I started messaging everyone in the KWCC, being like, "Hey, I need help. I need whoever's available to give me assistance," which Harley volunteered immediately, and I will save this match. You can definitely tell how much Josh wrote, and he did write a good amount of the match. Probably out of Christmas guilt, being like, but Harley came in for the save, wrote a ton of the actual fighting, and I kind of like connected dots and made the ending and filled in things. And we actually decided the ending on a coin toss. The coin toss was between Santa living or dying, and sadly Santa died by the toss. So
Santa had to go.
He had to go, yes.
But at least Rudolph can carry on his legacy.
Yes.
Maybe.
I mean, a few elves did make it into the shop, so who knows? Maybe there'll be a Baragon versus Mechagodzilla when the elves build Mechagodzilla and get revenge. Who knows? Those guys are crafty little devils.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I would have killed the reindeer and have Baragon be the new replacement due to his glowing horn.
Oh, that would have been nice. That actually would have been really.
Damn it! Grayshot, I would have helped you, but I was helping my parents set up the Christmas Eve party because I think that's when he messaged me about it.
Yeah.
Is he there? Or did I floor him with the awesome
No,
idea?
it was. I was trying to look up the date, but it was roughly that time. But it was like the day before Christmas Eve, so everyone was in a rush. So I completely understood if no one was available. But yeah, no. Biggest shout out, Harley saved Christmas for everyone that enjoys the KWC. So send her some love.
Oh, absolutely.
She deserves it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shot Harley.
Yeah, honestly, I can't remember my opinions from last. Oh no, wait, there was no opinions from last month. Was there?
It didn't exist yet.
That's right.
But yeah, Grayshot, would my idea for the ending would be allowed? Baragon replacing the reindeer as Santa's helper.
Maybe that's how it should. I have an idea.
I wouldn't have minded it.
Right. But here's the idea. The sequel to this match starts with Baragon eating Rudolph, and then everyone thinks that the spirit of Rudolph is inside Baragon, so he becomes the new Rudolph. And then he fights Mechagodzilla constructed by elves or something. But yeah, honestly, this was a really funny match. Like, I like its premise. I like the way it's set up. Honestly, the fact that it's Doctor Who going after... Like, a lot of it fits really well if you know, like, really know your stuff. Because I know King Kong Escapes was based on, like, the King Kong show, loosely. And I think that Kong at the time was under the hands of Rankin Bass, who's known for a lot of those old, stop motion specials. So a lot of it, like, this idea works out really well.
Yeah, it's just a little bit crazy. I think my favorite line was something that Harley made, Harley was the one that inputted, which was the missus is gonna have a mess to clean up tonight, as like blood like stains his like the snow in front of him. Like there's some great lines in there. That's some nice Christmas puns here and there too. So
another ending I would have had is Mrs. Claus looking at all the bloodshed. She gets down, starts looking, and then she does this huge demonic laughter, and it turns out it's Satan.
What the heck? Oh, man. But this was just a really, really, like... Yeah, Baragon vs. Mechanic Kong's a really fun match. What a great... it's so simple, but yet works so well. I mean, just Kaiju in Santa Claus land, North Pole. That's great.
It's 2/3 of good match.
Dig blast it.
Well, no, but glad you guys enjoyed it. This was I was kind of mad I was kind of mad when I first at the halfway point through this match, but once we got it out, I was quite happy with what happened. So yeah, thanks Josh, thanks Harley. We got it out.
Killed him. Should have killed him. Failed you for the last time.
And hey, another mechanic.
Maybe at another point.
Right. And hey, another Mechanicon match and another Baragon match. So
You
Yes.
mean Prometheus?
no, not Prometheus, Mechanicon.
Yeah, but that's Prometheus.
No, Prometheus only appeared in match 183. The rest were Mechanicon.
But yeah, so you got while speaking of Dansang or Nagoda being an awesome banner creator, we have him making a KWC in 249, Godzilla Hesai and Godzilla Legendary versus King Ghidorah and Grand King Ghidorah.
Oh wow, Nagar doesn't have to shoot up the forms anymore.
Hooray! Because he is not only the first new writer for the KWC, but this is also his first match that we got up here for the KWC. I know Nagoda probably has some things to say.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Wherever you are.
And I'll admit, like, I wanted
Step outside
to.
really quick.
Yeah.
Because it's quiet out here and you guys don't have to hear the preaching in there.
All right.
Okay, so yeah. Wait, what are we talking about?
249.
249? Oh yeah. That one was horrible. I'll just say that now because I wrote that in my, I think, sophomore year or junior year of high school. It was a long time ago. And then I think I sent it to GVJ, right?
I think so. It was a long time ago. I don't really remember this one.
Yeah, I remember it being a lot more like edgy and horribly written. Yeah, like Greyshot did some really good improvements on it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like there was a lot of good stuff there. It just the one thing I kind of don't like in when I get a match, and it's just it's bare bones to the point where it's. I didn't mind so much Godzilla Legendary winning or Godzilla Hesai winning. That never bothered me. It just bothered me that it was like there were just like 3 words and there was that was like a sentence. Like that kind of stuff really bugs me. So it was a lot of good detail. I just had to update it to explain like what was going on. There's like some weird inconsistencies you had with the Futurians.
Yeah, 16-year-old me was horrible at writing.
Yeah, like getting like there was like they got destroyed. You mentioned originally, but then Grand King Ghidorah falls on their ship, and you had Glenn mention something, but then you didn't have Wilson, or then you had Wilson, and they just disappeared. So I tried to interject them into the story a little bit more. I think I ended up contributing
at least my story writing got better over the years, I guess.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, definitely. There was a lot of good like stuff. I just added details. That was primarily, I think, the biggest thing is I just took out some attacks that were like repetitious and added just a whole bunch more details to certain parts. Otherwise, the fight was primarily good. Like, got some cool ideas for how the monsters interacted. And all I did was just
just flush it out a little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I think that was all the match needed. I know I had the match on me, and I know I made my own modifications to it, but I will also admit, I still have all Nagoda's matches, but I haven't really had the time to thoroughly edit them. And it's I didn't want to hold on to them forever for the sake of I want to get to them myself. It's so I kind of quickly went over it. It was pretty good to me, but I'm glad Greyshot caught all the stuff he did. So, I'll admit, I wish I could have just spent more time editing this one up when it was with me. But I'll try, you have a couple of gargantuan matches, Nagoda, so it's yeah, that stuff's gonna take a while.
He's on the everyone kick.
That's my fault.
Yeah, everyone kick.
I have a habit of trying to not write less than at least 3,000 or 4,000 words whenever I write something. I don't know, it's an odd habit I have now.
Well, 3,000, 4,000 isn't that bad. Or do you mean 30,000 to 40,000?
Nagoda, when you're my age, you'll get to the point where you're too depressed to write anything.
Yeah, that's how I am right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't really think of anything.
Well, it's all right. I mean, you still got like a nice handful of matches on here, and they'll definitely be up eventually for sure. It's just a matter of
Don't worry, GVJ. I'll try to send you something either today or tomorrow if I can actually get around to writing it.
Okay.
Don't worry. I think everyone's to be perfectly frank. I think everyone's kind of feeling the I don't know, KWC writers withdrawal. I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Grayshot, you think you could hit me up with some of that Coke from Applebee's? I want to see if that'll help me.
Gosh darn it!
First off, that is a poor generalization of Applebee's everywhere. And second, I no longer work at the establishment, so
Yeah, but you still have connections. So I think you could still hit me up.
Anyway, but yeah, it's like I'll admit, like I want to read the modified version that's on the site now, because it's been a while. I still liked the match when it was over with me. Like, yeah, I used to really like the match. It's as said, like, you know, there were really cool. The fight itself was really nice, and there were some really cool interactions between the monsters, especially the Ghidorahs. Like, those two had some really, like, you got something there. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think one part one of the parts I really liked about it was, like, how am I gonna get them to shoot Ghidorah down with a beam? And then I made that one scene where it's legendary. He goes up, bites down on the scales, and then point blank fires so that it hits no matter what, because it needs space to form that shield.
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really creative. So.
Yeah.
So, I also love. I also
write a lot.
Oh.
Thinking out ideas.
Right. Well, don't worry. I have a lot to say to my past self too in terms of writing. But well, if we get back to the committee reads, then I'll definitely have my words when we get to them. But yeah. But yeah, Landon on the banner front, great banner, and I love the way he kind of like. Is that an actual image of 2019 Godzilla, or is that just 2014 with the 20? I think
it's 2019.
Yeah,
I mean, it definitely has
think
2019 dorsal plates. That much I know, but
He made a really good banner.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I just
And wow, hindsight Godzilla doesn't look fat.
yeah, I know. He looks thick and bulky. But yeah, this is a really cool, like, fun banner. Like, it's a stare off, but it's the good kind of stare off, you know, or,
Yeah.
stand down or whatever, the good kind. That said, I'll also admit those are some big ass birds in the background. I'll say that much.
They're giant condors.
Okay, yeah. Those are giant condors, right next to the Ghidorahs. But yeah, did anyone else have anything to say for 249?
I'm proud of you, my son.
Yeah, good match by a great banner by Landon. A good starting point for Nagoda, and I can't wait to see his future work.
Oh, you're gonna hate some of my later works with how long they get.
Gamer versus everyone's really good. I recommend it. It's really good.
Yeah, I definitely I started editing on that, but then I hit a like editing downtime phase, so I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get back to it, but it's promising so far.
Too long.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Break, Andrew? How dare you take one? Work.
Same with a group of kaiju fighting the Gauss. That's a good survival story.
Oh yeah, the Gauss one.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. Anyway, anything else? 249? Anything? Joe? Joe, are you alive?
I think he's dead.
Oh no, Joe!
Joe!
Joe! No
Well,
good.
I guess Nagoda's match killed him. Good job, Nagoda.
That's what I was gonna say. Oh darn!
Oh no, we lost him. Oh, he's back.
Joe.
We lost him to the anime trilogy ending.
So do you guys just want to jump over to that
Yes.
Hang on a second. One more thing before we go over Planet Eater. It does involve King Ghidorah, though. Who here read the last KWCE of 2018?
Hey, Joyce, you know I don't read those until we do the committee reads.
Gosh darn it, you're totally right.
So if
Which one was
all
that?
of you want me to share my thoughts on matches, tell Kaiju X to start the next season.
Basically.
Oh, I need to read this.
Which one
Dang.
was that? I don't think I read it.
King Ghidorah versus King Ghidorah Showa versus Mothra Showa versus Megalon versus King Caesar Showa.
Yeah, I don't think I read it. I think I started reading it, and then I got distracted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll admit, like this, I think this was probably one of Godzilla versus Rayquaza's earlier matches, because there were a lot of notable problems I saw that I noticed wasn't present with, like, got Orga and Hell. So it was like, yeah, this is definitely like kind of an earlier match, and there were some areas I kind of it's like I look at it now, it's like crap, I missed this, and this, but like the overall match itself, I like its story. Like, it's kind of, I really like the way it starts. I really like the way events unfold, and it turns out, like this happens. Like, oh, that's cool.
Cold down here.
So it's a fun match. It's a pretty fun match without going to too many spoilers. Unless you show the spoiler tag, and then it's like, oh, all right.
So no one read it then.
I guess besides,
I have not. I need to do the awards. And I need to catch up on last KWCE.
all right. Well, don't forget about the KWC and KWCE awards that are ongoing right now. If you have if you just like the KWC, just go to the main site and take the survey, have fun. Or if you're part of the community, like have a Toho Kingdom account and you participate in the KWC subform, then just go to the KWCE subform, whatever, and then just find the official 2018 KWCE Awards. So yeah, anyway, with all, I guess unfortunately since no one read match 30, we'll just kind of have to skip over that one. Darn it. But I guess this does lead into probably what's going to be the focus for this podcast, and that is the last installment of the infamous Godzilla, the anime trilogy presented by Netflix and made by Polygon Pictures. So let's begin with Godzilla.
You mean created by Hitler and Satan?
Yeah. So where do we want to start with this?
I'll say this: it's the best of the trilogy.
Was in it.
It's definitely the best of the trilogy.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
How much thou say? I think, it's like, oh, it's the best of the trilogy. Let's also be realistic here. That's also not that high of a margin to jump over. So, yeah. It's like, it's just the best of the trilogy by a bit. Even though I have my own opinions, but, nobody cares about that.
Well, when I say best, it didn't anger me like the past 3 Toho films did. I didn't actually feel bored or too much annoyed by the plot. And King Ghidorah was the only kaiju in the trilogy that was actually cool. Yeah, I felt like he was the only one they didn't fuck up.
You mean the only other kaiju in the trilogy?
Yeah, that's true. You made this look good by comparison. Are you happy? Great shot. Minya was always good. You're just too much of a hater.
We just watched.
I
Son of
remember watching
Godzilla.
the review.
Yeah. So I just posted my review image, or my brother's review.
Yeah,
image. We both watched it.
I think I left a comment on there, and then someone asked me to recommend them a fan fiction, so I sent them to the KWC.
Oh. Well, the major thing I will say about this is I honestly did not like it. I thought it was very bad. I still think the first one is the best, and that's just because it had potential, which was then squandered by 2 and 3. I think that...
Sorry to interrupt. Are you saying the first one's also the best one because the scene with that brief shot of Kamaku's Dogura, Orga, and Takara?
Yes.
Okay, I'll agree with you.
Oh, yeah,
That's the best part of the trilogy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it had the potential where it couldn't. There's stuff they could do with it that I was hoping that they would do with like bring other monsters in and such. Instead, we get Mechagodzilla's head and Ghidorah's heads. I guess they couldn't animate the full body in the because it was too much.
To be fair,
So,
like when you get the scenes where Ghidorah does the silhouette of his full body, it's just it's like literally a stiff prop just flying up. So it's like, yeah, I guess they can only animate their heads.
Same thing with Mothra. You only see her shadow, but so everyone's like, "Oh my god, isn't it great that King Ghidorah is like this Cthulhu-like creature?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." Except the only problem is that it's still just poorly implemented. He's a Cthulhu-like creature, but he just absorbs heat and energy. Okay, so and then they just pick Godzilla up, and after he bites him, and does like. That's not terrifying. Like that's just slow and meandering.
No, Grisha. As much as I actually liked Ghidorah in this movie, I did find it funny they basically took the Phantom Menace approach, where once Befi's got basically disabled, Ghidorah just got hit once and he disappears.
Basically,
yeah. That's the other thing, which is like if he's supposed to be this like he's very Nagoda makes a good connection, which it looks like the old Orochi image, but. The thing with Ghidorah is he's supposed to be this planet eater, this great destroyer. You kind of undervalue your it just taps the head and it just like vaporizes like One Punch Man in like a normal punch. Like the beam, at least when he fires against the other one, I was expecting, this is when he shoots the gravity beam. Nope, he just screams and gets like obliterated. Like
no, he just says, "Guess I'll die."
Yeah, there's no like tension. It's very much if the entire end fight of Godzilla Final Wars was Kaiser Ghidorah shows up, bites Godzilla, and then it just with like a hard cut to Kaiser Ghidorah flying through space and explosion. There's no in between.
Wait, didn't that happen though?
but Godzilla went around and like thrashed him about and tossed him around. Just imagine he breaks free, hard cut to him in the air flying in by a red star ray. Like just a hard cut. There's no in between, there's no action. He just gets free and then just blasts him. And that's not suspenseful and that's not an interesting villain. This just so not only was the King Ghidorah wasted, but then you also had the issues with all the other characters, which Nagoda makes note. Yes, they were working on that this little thing, this little contraption to fix it, to call King Ghidorah. My note though is
soup?
Yeah, why didn't they just do that when they first showed up? Because the guy made a note that they did this with other alien races where they let King Ghidorah eat them. But if that's the case, why'd they let King Ghidorah blow up their own ship and essentially murder them all? Like,
well, Grisha. Since it's only the exif, they only lost one exif on that ship because there's only 2 in the whole series.
Yeah, basically.
So it was really no loss to them if they blew up the ship.
But
there's so many problems. I could go on with plot holes. And I can go on with why I don't like these characters. Because, like, for instance, Haru, there's a moment where he's like, I'm grieving for the person that was just brain dead. I cannot be with you at this moment. Another twin shows up.
Yeah,
you want to bang? Okay, we'll
basically,
bang. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
they're definitely
like there's so many like issues, and then again, I stress this in the review, which I highly recommend you guys checking it out. But my synopsis for this movie is: it is a diamond. It is a great themes that is the most shining diamond covered in about a foot of crap, and the amount of shoveling you have to do to get to that diamond is not worth what you actually get in return.
No.
Great shot.
Oh, God.
You have to admit, Ghidorah destroying the Irachim was pretty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Him destroying the ship was fantastic, especially the woman that replied every single thing that happened. He is now circling us. He is now coming closer. He's within 50 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet, 5 feet. I am now typing really, really. Like,
I kind of like that tension, though. I thought it was pretty neat. It was the one moment of the whole trilogy that I actually felt tension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like that whole sequence.
Even with the techno jargon being thrown about in a way, being constantly shoved in your face, I felt like it worked there. Just because it's kind of like, shit, what do we do? What do we do? What is this thing? We have no idea what it's doing. At least it induces some degree of panic. Like Ghidorah's summoning, I think, is the best part of Planet Eater. That is the best. Like, just we are now dead as of 10 minutes ago. That's great.
Pokemon died 45 seconds ago.
I think that's probably my favorite part of Planet Eater. But Planet Eater, to me, it's strange. It's the movie I expected it to be, knowing everything else. Like,
I have to agree with you.
Yeah, knowing how Mechagodzilla was handled in City, knowing that there was the whole no monster wrestling restriction, which I felt like Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah should have been the exception to the rule. I feel like if you're gonna end a series, have at least one proper fight in this series. But it doesn't.
I felt like, here's the thing, it's like, at the beginning when Ghidorah first appears on Earth and Godzilla sees him, he's like, I guess in his definition, charging when he's just walking. I felt like that was what Polygon was trying to do. Like, okay, we're gonna try to do this fight. We're setting it up, and then Toho goes, "Not so fast, motherfucker! You can't do fights." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Might as well keep the footage we have."
Yeah, and I think the reason why they said no fights is they wanted the budget as small as possible, and you can feel it. Like,
I think the reason was if they were trying to appeal to more audiences, but that really doesn't make any sense when most people know of Godzilla as the fights.
Right. I agree. I don't mind the idea of taking Godzilla in a different direction. If that means no monster fights, I'm okay with that. But the way it's handled here, it feels like they're trying to get their own scoop of let's add other monsters when it kind of derails the narrative. And just makes it really distracting.
And or at least me, I'm not saying their approach to Mechagodzilla and King Ghidorah were bad. I love those takes. I love the concept. They weren't executed too badly. Ghidorah was okay, but Mechagodzilla was terrible.
Yeah, totally. There's so much more you could have done with Mechagodzilla City that just...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, there's just so much more you could have done with Mechagodzilla City. Just so much more.
It almost feels like you should have combined the first movie. Because watching Planet Eater, again, I'm not trying to defend it or anything. I'm just saying it really feels like the only film in the trilogy where something happens, or at least they're discussing the ramification.
Right.
Even though it wasn't long, I do like how they were discussing the events of City and how there was some sort of consequence to it.
Yeah, totally. I think that was really nice. Like how it opens up with the Aratrum guys hearing in on the whole final bit of City. That's great. I like that.
As opposed to City opening up where at the end, where basically the end of Planet or Planet Monsters doesn't happen when basically the majority of the attacking force is still around.
Right. So it's like, there's so much. Yeah, there's a lot of really good potential here, but it's all just kind of squandered. To me, like I said, this was meant to be a TV series, and I think everyone here knows that. To me, this trilogy does not feel like what Grayshot, or what I initially thought of. It's like, oh, each movie is 4 episodes. I thought that, but looking at it again, I might be wrong. I think the way I see these movies now are not 12 episodes wrapped into 3 movies. It's a cliff note for a 25 episode series.
Holy shit, you're right. That makes so much sense.
To me, this whole series just feels like here are notes for the ideas we have.
It's basically a pitch. That's what it is.
Right. It's a pitch that somehow skipped all the other steps straight into a final movie.
Yeah,
And again, if this was a TV series, the characters probably could have gotten more time to develop.
Yes.
Haruo probably would have been more justified with his whining and bitching.
Right. We could have maybe even gotten less bitchy, whining Haruo as the series progressed. Because it's like, it still has its highlights. My personal favorite moment, besides the opening sequence, I think is that climax in City. The moral debate between, Mechagodzilla City / Galagu. Like when Haruo's torn whether to kill Godzilla or not. I think, I wish everything else leading up to this had been better, because that's a good climax to me.
Yeah, Grisha would have put a bullet in Haruo's head and says, "Yes, sir, let's kill Godzilla. All hail Mechagodzilla."
I know my biggest problem is the stakes never feel like they're there, and but going back to the second movie, I never understood why Mechagodzilla was a threat, because they never established Mechagodzilla as being this threat, because it took him 20,000 years to move a mile or two at most. Oh. And the reason why he was so dangerous is because stupid natives didn't realize what the fuck he was, so they would get infected by nanometal. Mm-hmm. If you would just not get infected by nanometal, you literally would just go to the opposite side of the planet, chill out in, Alaska or in Pennsylvania or New York, whatever. Mm-hmm. You just chill out over there. For hundreds of years, you could resupply, rebuild civilization, and you'd be A-okay. Even if a Mechagodzilla did show up, it would be forever before he finally did.
I think also in the novels say the destroyers took America as their home.
Yeah. But speaking of which, I think this goes into another major problem with these movies, and this is shared with all three: the techno jargon. These movies. I didn't notice this until I was watching Planet Eater, but these movies obsess with the technology and it's like, oh, what about this? This is it. It's like it's trying to force feed you, trying to think, oh, these monsters are real or whatever. And then Ghidorah's the only unnatural one that we don't know, but I don't know. It force feeds you techno jargon and technical stuff without it really giving any sense of character. It just feels like they're just shoving in your face because we're idiots.
Yeah, and as we said, the only scene where that's fine is where Ghidorah's destroying the Eratrum. Yeah. That's the only part where it feels necessary.
Yeah, totally.
And increases the tension by having that girl repeat it.
Mm-hmm. Just hammering it home.
Hammering.
Yeah, I didn't mind it being hammered home when the Eratrum was being destroyed, but I'll admit, Martin, the scientist dude, hammering it home too. It just felt like, we heard you the first time, man. Do you mind? But yeah, these movies it feels like what a fan fiction would do. It's like obsessing over these tiny, minute details and completely missing the bigger picture.
Especially since its running theme at the very end is technology bad because no one ever learns from their mistakes. Or not learn from their mistakes, but it's a cycle. You have to avoid it, or else you're just going to doom yourself. Which my point in the matter is, wouldn't a better lesson of this being if you're going to focus so much on technology being we have learned about the mistakes that we've made, isn't that breaking the cycle? Mm-hmm. Because you're not breaking the cycle, you're just prolonging it. Mm-hmm. Eventually,
I'm sorry, I was going to say something. I'll let you finish.
No, I was going to say, because eventually the natives, after, I don't know, a million years, if they're not just murdered by Godzilla, because this Godzilla apparently just kills anything. It has no character. The other thing with these monsters have no character whatsoever. But going back to technology, him blowing up the ship, the ending, and you're like, oh, I've destroyed all technology, so that way you can't have it. I'm like, yes, that is the best way, because obviously in our history, throughout everything that we've learned is by burying technology and burying secrets and keeping things from people is how we move on in society, and that's how we save people. It's not by learning from our mistakes, by incorporating them into the decisions we make in our future, and by helping us build a better future by not knowing what we shouldn't do. That's the other thing I hate about this.
I think the other thing I think it was important to keep in mind too, it wasn't just him getting rid of the nanometal for get rid of Mechagodzilla junk. But I think it was also Mephi's mentioned something that's as long as Haruo was alive, there was the implication about either Ghidorah would come back or a creature like Ghidorah would seek him out or something. So it was like him killing himself. He was just taking everything with them. It's like, you know, the past, everything. It was, the whole idea was, it's like, you know, this is the end of holding on to the past. I give it up now.
I was gonna say that ending of Planet Eater is actually the worst part of that movie for me, because it's like Grayshot said, you're only gonna prolong it. It's like if you and it's like why, and it's like if Ghidorah's gonna be watching Haru, it makes sense for him to kill himself, but you don't need to take away basically the one thing that can help bring back civilization,
especially when Martin is able to somehow magically work it despite being, you know, below Saludo technology, but whatever.
And if you wanted to slow it down, Haru should have knocked him out and put him in the vault. Because Martin's described as a genius, apparently.
Totally.
And it's like, and if you're saying all technology is going to be like bad to where Ghidorah's come back, so it's like, okay, I guess Ghidorah's going to come back because we reinvented toilet paper. Yeah, I'm so glad Ghidorah's going to destroy us because we all know how to wipe our asses again.
To be fair, at least Godzilla could just bitch slap him into dust again.
Why does it matter? Ghidorah without the amulet is pointless. He can't do anything. Godzilla or any monster would just murder him instantly. That's
a good point. Because I think Mephi said there's only a handful of priests left, and assuming the Arachio is wherever that one's at, I think if there's any exif, I think Ghidorah's going to focus on that. I don't think it's going to go back to Earth because it got its ass kicked by Godzilla. So it's like, it's all yours, Godzilla. Sorry to invade your planet. I'll invade anywhere else.
I guess that's also
hard to disrespect you, bro.
Well, I guess that's also the implication too, is that since they don't I think it's safe to assume, and again, I have seen theories that's like, oh, Godzilla died in the last moment because symbolism, and I was like, no. It's just a vulture crashing into Godzilla. That's not going to kill him.
I wouldn't even say a vulture crashed into Godzilla. I'd say it blew up. It's like, I get it. Haru has to die because, in a way, I like the idea where he's all that's left. It's like he's the only one who's holding on to that hate, and he has to die if Ghidorah's going to focus on him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like, that's fine, but
whatever that implication's meant to be,
It's like, just, Haru, either just shoot yourself or walk out into the forest and have the servant eat you.
All right. Or let Godzilla just stomp on you. Like, if you wanted to take it up to Godzilla, then let him stomp on you.
It's like, and I'm pretty sure at that point Mechagodzilla's gone, so I'm pretty sure the nanometals, like Mechagodzilla's a non-factor, it's just the remaining pieces of metal left.
Well, to be fair, I think the idea with nanometal is that, the stuff spreads, so it's like it would eventually come back, but I think Mechagodzilla itself is probably a non-issue at this point, so... And
Martin's a genius, he could figure it out.
Yeah, again, 20,000 years, 2 square miles.
I think the other thing, like I said, I brought up the whole obsessing over details point. This is why I wanted to bring it back to. I believe the implication was that it took that long for it took 20,000 years to Mechagodzilla stretch out a couple of miles because he was only half working. He was not fully activated. He was only working partially. And within 20,000 years, he built a city. Not at full power. Do you catch what I mean?
Going back... Yeah, but going a bit off topic, going back to how, I guess, technically the 3 kaiju appear in the film, I would argue that despite being handled terribly, I think Mechagodzilla probably has the best pursed character to the 3 of them, because Godzilla, there's nothing, Ghidorah just destroys shit. Mechagodzilla at least has the interest of taking over and creating its own civilization. Mm-hmm. Whether you think that's a good motivation or not, he at least has the most character out of the 3 of them.
Right.
Because of that reason.
Mm-hmm. Right, there's something of a character there. Oh, right, yeah. Totally. I think, there was also the implication that when the Bilu Saludo merged themselves with the nanometal, they had become Mechagodzilla. This was one theory I heard from, one of my actors for my animated parody project, was that the implication might have been...
Hour.
Hour, fair enough. But freaking, I think he made the suggestion that it's he knows that the character Galagu and Belube kind of turn heel of like from we need to get into this stuff to live from the heat to let's just absorb everything. And I think the implication there was that it was Mechagodzilla taking over at that point. But it's not obvious whether that's supposed to be the case or not.
Which is my other point in regards to this movie, which is Haru insisting me like, we must save Godzilla. Why? I never understood why no point should Haru in any of the movies have ever attempted to save Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, Gracia. It's like he could have waited until Ghidorah killed Godzilla, and then Haru could have gouged out Mephi's eyes.
Totally. Yeah, there is no real reason for, especially in Planet Eater, there was no reason for Haru to be hasty and be like, "Oh, let's save Godzilla." It's like there is no point because he doesn't have anything to fall back on now.
Yeah, it's like it's not like the Mechagodzilla situation. You're not man. Just wait a couple minutes till Ghidorah kills Godzilla or whatever he does with him, and then gouge out his eye.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Right. At least that split decision made sense in City, where it was like he had this choice or that choice. At least there, it made more sense because it's like to kill Godzilla in the state he was in. If he went down there without nanometal, he'd be dead. But then by assimilating with Mechagodzilla, he'd be dead. So it's
hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Wouldn't Haru be immune because he got the Hotua?
Right. He has the Hotua stuff, so I don't think there was any real way to like Mechagodzilla to nanometalize him. But the fact that was not even like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is that like they needed the 3 vultures to go down, re-trigger Godzilla's internal core or whatever, and just make him blow up again, and then actually kill him. And it was like, oh, okay. But it's like if Haru tried to do that without nanometalizing, he'd be dead. So it's like, yeah, it was either. Granted, yeah, you do have a fair point. It's like how can freaking Haru nanometalize himself with Mechagodzilla when he has the Hotua scale? So it's like, it's like he only had the one choice.
And actually, that brings up another good thought. People on the Irachi market, let's say they killed Godzilla right there. Mm-hmm. Mechagodzilla's still around, the nanometal's still there. It converted everyone within the vicinity of the base. The people on the Irachi are probably not going to like that idea, except for the Bill of Saludo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So chances are they're probably going to cut ties with the Bill of Saludo and make their own home.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's another fascinating concept. Oh man.
So it's like, yeah, Grayshaw was right all along. They should have just killed Godzilla. I don't think not everyone's going to agree with the nanometal.
Mm-hmm. Right. But it's like, yeah, killing Godzilla would have been the better 2 choices. But even, I guess that leads to curiosity number 3. It's like, how would Mechagodzilla City have handled freaking Ghidorah? That could have been fun.
If you want to
go. That's the thing. It also. That's another good idea. A lot of people probably wouldn't believe in Mephi's religion.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Because
they would have rejected the suit.
That's right. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Shoot.
Even if Ghidorah somehow did show up, they would just call out the eye thing, and Mechagodzilla City would just unload everything into the sky, and Ghidorah would just be like, "Oh, you can attack me now? I'm gonna leave now. Bye."
Actually, yeah,
I'm pretty sure Mechagodzilla City would find out the weakness to Ghidorah.
What? Oh my gosh! What do you mean? Wait! That's right. Yeah, King Ghidorah would have been screwed because it required nanometal to repair the thing used to communicate with Ghidorah. If Mechagodzilla City were still around, I think it could have had some control over anything made of nanometal.
Was nanometal like in the original Mechagodzilla?
No, nanometal is something exclusive to the anime version.
No.
Wait, wait.
I think he was referring to when it was first built.
First built. Yes.
So this is my other problem with the whole thing. If his whole point was to get Ghidorah to attack, wouldn't it have been way easier with a smaller Godzilla? And wouldn't it have been better if he would have used that nanometal all that way back time?
Yeah, I mean, that depends on when it honestly, yes, I agree. But so far, I think.
Wait, actually, to continue off Greyshot's idea with the smaller Godzilla, didn't they say that it was already converted some of the servum to nanometal? Say, hypothetically, it could control the servum. Just find a way to lure the smaller Godzilla, have several of the servum attach itself, and then start converting it to nanometal.
Are we talking 20,000 years ago small, or are we talking about...
If we're talking about, let's say, hypothetically, like, right before the expedition begins with Planet Monsters.
Okay, before the expedition, right. Before.
Yeah, like, right before. Like, say, like, maybe a month or two before.
Right. I mean, I think the idea is that Mechagodzilla was the only source of nanometal around. Like, he was the only... Like, Mechagodzilla City, everything's nanometal. Everything. But I think 20,000 years ago, Mechagodzilla itself was the only source of nanometal. Like, none of the bases... Like, everything else around it was made up of regular technology.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it seems like, at least from City, when discovered, nanometal seems to be spreading very slowly. Mm-hmm. It can still be spread, albeit slowly. So what I'm saying is that...
Right, they could have went back...
It seems like they converted some of the servum to... Even though we only saw it as corpses, let's say hypothetically, they could be converted to actual assets to where they can lure the smaller Godzilla, latch onto it, and then basically convert it to nanometal.
That would be fun. I'm surprised.
That's kind of like continue off of Greyshot's idea.
Yeah, totally. I think that would be a lot of fun. Like, I'm kind of shocked they didn't do that. Like, I understand that in Mechagodzilla's, like, hibernating / like, half-sleeping state, like, he was just basically killing everything with Godzilla's genetic material by assimilating them. It's like, okay, I get it. But I am kind of shocked that it's like once they got Mechagodzilla rebooted, I'm kind of shocked they didn't do that. Like, oh, why not have, nanometal some of the nearby servum, make them latch onto Godzilla? You know what? Why didn't the EMP harpoon start assimilating Godzilla? Why didn't the liquid nanometal start assimilating Godzilla?
I wish we got some... See, that is something I love about this idea of Mechagodzilla. The fact that he could potentially nanometalize everything to make it part of its army.
Oh yeah,
totally. Because the movie would be cut short real, and that's why.
Yeah,
that's the problem with this movie and its plot holes. You want to know why they didn't do it? Because then the movies wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, basically.
That's the only reason.
Well, aside from the Hotua, that'd be the only way where you could
Why is the priest not a competent priest? Why is Haru an idiot? Why did everyone die? Why did the ending we get? It's because they wanted 3 movies, and for some reason the plot demanded it. So they were like, well, just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it.
You know, Greyshot is fuming when I'm sort of defending Toho right now.
I'm not fuming. I'm just disappointed. I am just disappointed in Toho because this is a cheap project that they wanted to pump out, and they wanted, like, listen, we're only giving you this amount. We don't want Godzilla to fight because that would increase the budget. So here's what we're going to do. Make it all themey. Make it all these big themes. And make it sci-fi-y because that's big right now. Throw in, like, some mechs and stuff. You can have that stuff fight. Have, like, a Moby Dick-ish kind of storyline with a main character that hates Godzilla. And then, you guys fill it in from there. Just get it 3 movies. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, make a TV show. Oh, I'm sorry. You want that kind of money? Make it a movie. 3 movies.
Oh, you want fights? We'll hire some guy with awesome ideas who's a great storyteller for the 2 novels. We won't even bother with the 3rd novel because he wants to do something with Kaiju or something.
yeah, totally.
But it's like... Also, first off, Greyshot, you finally understand how I feel these past few years.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I think right now, the best thing about Toho has been what the American studios have been doing with it when it comes to IDW Comics, with Rulers of Earth, when it comes to the legendary movies and like King Kong Skull Island. Shin Godzilla, I thought was okay. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was good. I thought it was like eh.
I'll admit, I think
this is just no.
Out of the 4 recent Toho films, I'm only saying Planet Eater is my favorite because it didn't anger me like the other 3 did. And if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. I'm just saying Planet Eater was the one that angered me the least, or it didn't really anger me at all.
Right.
But it's like, regarding the anime, it's like they were sitting on this gold mine and all they did was pick up the penny.
Mhm. There's
That you had these gold mine of ideas and potential stuff, like Mechagodzilla, this nanometal who could basically take the shape of whatever the hell it wants. Amazing. That is probably the best Mechagodzilla. Would be the best Mechagodzilla out there. What do you do with it? You just make him a born city who basically has incoherent motives or incoherent actions. Godzilla. Oh, you have this plant-based whatever. He could basically takes over the environment. Cool. What are you gonna do with him? Oh, make him the slow grandpa who shows no emotion, who shows even less emotion than Shin. Mothra. Oh, cool. I'm kind of interested in what Mothra does with this new civilization. Nothing. You just have her be literally a cardboard cutout.
and an
Ghidorah. Oh, he's this. Yeah. Ghidorah. He's this cool Lovecraftian creature. Okay, he's the only one who did something. Kind of cool.
Right. But
It's like
it's like
3 out of the 4 kaiju that actually appear in the movie are crap.
Right. Mothra, an egg for 20,000 years.
I'm amazed Mothra.
The thing I'm most the other thing I hate is the other thing I dislike is they've made the monsters themselves have no personality, and I wish we could have seen a Mothra. I wish we could have seen a monster with some kind of personality.
I'd argue Mechagodzilla, but then again, it wasn't that much.
Yeah,
Mechagodzilla's the only one that kind of had personality.
Like, I can understand you wanting to hate a character. Like, I can understand that that type of motivation for Haru. But the thing is, for this Godzilla, he just seems like a mindless animal, and that's the only thing. He's not like a evil for the sake of evil. Like, because I never once thought Godzilla as intelligent with that dopey face of his, and how he doesn't do anything intelligent against the monsters. Like, he doesn't. He doesn't. He just uses his special ability, and all the monsters die. If anyone were to say to me, Godzilla's just a big dumb ant, and prove me wrong, if they were to show me these movies, I can't prove them wrong. There's nothing in here that shows Godzilla as nothing more than that. Whereas if I wanted to say, if someone asked me that and said, get a movie that proves me wrong, I'd get Godzilla 2014. I'd get the original Godzilla. I would get GMK. I would
get the 570s films.
Yeah, I would show them like all these different motivations and show them like different. I would even show them Godzilla vs. Destroya, like have it like a silent moment, or for one moment. But like this movie, there's nothing. It's if you want to talk about Godzilla in name only, here you go. This is a Godzilla film. This is a Godzilla film in name only, because all that you have. The original Godzilla had some great themes to it, but it also had a great story, great characters, great everything else. This movie has a good theme, and everything else is shit.
Well,
and
good theme.
That's the
good theme, strong world building initially. Everything else, yeah.
A solid Ghidorah and a solid idea for Mechagodzilla.
Right. Like, it has some really good ideas in there. It has some really interesting reinterpretations.
It just failed on execution, which I think is the best way to describe it. Good ideas, horrible execution, except for a few moments. But
when you think about it, I will say it's like with Planet of Monsters, the only good moment is the beginning with the Dagara, the news footage. Mechagodzilla, the only good idea is
like the material he's made out of.
Yeah, Mechagodzilla itself, and then sort of the ending where Kaiju X was getting at with the dilemma. Problem is, there was really no consequence for Haru since he already got vaccinated. And then for Planet Eater, the Ghidorah parts were all good.
Right.
So it's not like I could 100% hate these movies. Right. There's good moments. It's just the rest of it's bland and annoying.
Yeah, that's the biggest fault of these movies. They're bland. They're very bland. And to me, I don't know. That doesn't trigger hatred for me. If it does for you, fine. But to me, it causes biggest indifference.
I'd say I heavily dislike the first two. Planet Eaters, I'd say it's meh at best. Oh, and before I forget, there was an idea you and I were talking about it like a few days ago. It would have been nice if they actually killed off one of the twins, like with the dream Haru had in the suit. That was actually a neat moment.
That was actually legitimately disturbing. Like, that dream where one of the twins was supposedly dead. I kind of wish she was actually killed, and I also, by extension, wish she was actually made into the soup.
Yes.
That would have been screwed up, but that would have been fantastic.
I will say a minor praise is that Memphis was kind of creepy during the cave scenes.
Yeah, totally. Memphis had a lot of time to shine here, and he's probably, like, character-wise, he's probably really the only real interesting thing in this movie, character-wise.
So he's our Palpatine and our Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I guess.
I would say yes, but that's insulting to the prequel trilogy. Because at least something happens in the...
Right, yeah, this... And honestly, you know what was a golden opportunity? Like I said, Great Shot said this Godzilla has basically no character. He's completely right. You know what you had on you that you could have used to elaborate in very subtle ways? Phileas. Phileas is only a red herring. That was all he was thought as and treated as. Why?
He's basically Minya.
Not even Minya in name only is what he is, because he doesn't have anything going for him.
Okay, I'm home so I can talk again.
Right. Freaking, what if we had brief scenes where instead of Godzilla sleeping his ass off, what if he was mourning? What if we could have small bits of him mourning?
His tears cause tidal waves.
Yeah! Yeah, that'd be great. But it's like, you
Don't
could...
forget Godzilla. The
He's
Godzilla in the anime film are grass type.
5,000 people
Yeah,
died.
it's
Grass steel. Anyway.
it's like saying the whole crew killed and I just... No, I'd be shooting up the place.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I'm saying, like, yeah, he could have, like, why couldn't we have gotten some kind of emotional connection to Godzilla in these movies?
Yes, that is... Yeah, that's... And it's like...
It would have given Godzilla
that would have
something.
There's also kind of that theme of loss, and it's like, not only do, like, quote-unquote, the good guys lose, but it's like the quote-unquote bad guy loses
Something, too.
son or daughter.
Yeah, it's just like with the Infinity War. Everyone loses something. Even Thanos, who is, although he is the victor by the end, he lost stuff, too.
Yeah, he said what did it cost? Everything.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, why couldn't that tie into this Godzilla? Where it's like, if your theme is loss, what did Godzilla lose? Hypothetically, it would have been Phileas, but it doesn't seem like he loses anything. He's not a character. It's just a plot device.
Yeah, it's and it's like, yeah, since you basically don't have any of that stuff, what is the point of Phileas aside being? You could have still rearranged that whole sequence to being where they temporarily trap Godzilla and then he unleashes some new power they didn't know he had.
Right.
It's like Phileas had no reason to be in there.
Yeah, other than being like, oh, what if they came back with this plan what if they employed this plan against Godzilla 20,000 years ago? I think was the whole idea behind Phileas. He was just meant to be, oh, they fought past Godzilla, now they fight real Godzilla. But it's like, ugh.
All would have been forgiven if Phileas was holding two, as like I did.
Wait, what?
You know, like in Godzilla's Revenge, Benya was holding two bananas when Hiro visited him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Yes, have him walk out holding two bananas while he's getting shot.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna share these with my dad. Hey, son, did you bring those bananas? Oh my god, who the fuck killed my son? I was really looking forward to the potassium, but gotta kill some bitches.
Yeah,
Wasn't the thing about the nanometal, it, like, whatever technology it fixes or something, it can recreate it or something like that?
Yeah, that's what Martin was explaining at the end. It's like every, like, technology it's recorded, it could be remade.
Yeah. Which would have been helpful. And as long as
it would have been helpful.
Yeah, and as long as Mechagodzilla's, like, consciousness or what have you isn't there, it should be all right. Like, as long as
and it's like we said, Mechagodzilla is practically an on at that point. just the nanometal. You Martin or someone could have controlled it.
Yeah.
I mean, either no one remakes that Ghidorah sending fine.
But but remember, Ghidorah will come back and attack us because we have toilet paper.
Man, why couldn't he have come back to attack us with nanometal toilet paper?
Oh, hey guys, I'm not attacking or anything. I was just hoping you guys could give me some TP for the trip.
Wait, I just thought of something. You know how Metphius, their whole plan was, they go to planets, make sure those people make monsters so that King Ghidorah can eat them all, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So why was he so against Mechagodzilla then? That would have just been an even larger food for King Ghidorah.
Well, I think because Mechagodzilla isn't natural, or quote-unquote natural. Speaking of monsters, I do... Again...
But Metphius specifically says this is their Godzilla.
Yeah, my mind's not completely straight right now, so I think I know what you're talking about, but it's also kind of like, yeah.
Don't worry, Kaiju. You're still regenerating from when we stabbed you those 20-something.
Oh, okay.
Also, what I typed up is actually true.
Godzilla is what I call us. Gosh darn it! So Mothra isn't one, but Godzilla is. Gotcha.
Well, I don't think Ghidorah even knew about Mothra.
Oh, probably not.
Probably goes, should I have that up easy?
Yeah, man, you know what? Having the whole no fight monster wrestling thing also led to Mothra. What if Mothra emerged from her egg and helped Godzilla, like, pretty much... What if Mothra was responsible for making Ghidorah physical in our world? Wouldn't that have been...
Also, but Kaiju X, that would require money. That would require more of a budget.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Also, if they're going by the logic of, since Bachelor's canon, if they're going by the logic that Mothra could be reborn, shouldn't Bachelor's egg be right next to Mothra as well?
Hold up.
I don't know.
I just...
Because Mothra basically being reborn is basically Bachelor's ability.
Kinda, yeah. So.
I just thought of something really weird. You know how Mothra is currently an egg in the trilogy?
Yes. And always
How did the adult Mothra appear in the dream then?
It's a dream. It's all telekinetic.
Yeah. Does that mean that there's technically an adult Mothra somehow in the egg, staying in there this whole time, evolving?
Interesting.
Nagoda, the fans who defend these movies strongly are going to say you don't get it because all you care about are the fights.
To be fair, you have to have a high IQ.
It's the same exact people. Yes, it's the same exact people who are the Shin fanatics. You criticize it because there's no fights in it. And they're saying that's how the anime trilogy has strong the whole trilogy.
These movies are like they were conceptually they were a neat idea.
And you made the perfect point that they're basically a pitch, basically glossing over important stuff.
Right. The movie versions, like the movies we have, is just a pitch that somehow made itself into a movie.
and again, they could have landed anywhere but Japan, and we've seen how Godzilla moves. It would have taken him a long time to get to the other side of the world. Same with Mechagodzilla City. Yeah. They would have been able to rebuild civilization.
He wasn't even awake. He was not even awake at that time.
You woke him up, you morons. They could have...
Yeah.
They could have...
Of course you would have blown something up right next.
I'm pretty sure they could have scanned all the continents from the ship, going, oh, America's been taken by a destroyer. We can't go there. Let's go to Europe then. Europe sounds nice.
Isn't Godzilla there?
Was dead. But I think the implication, again, this is the sad part. Implication. I hate the fact that I'm using this word so much for these movies, because it's like, oh, you have to be paying attention, or, you have to, whatever. Because I think the idea is that the rest of the world is like Japan. Like, it's all infested with servum and the trees and whatnot. I think that's the implication in the movies.
Yeah, but aside from that, they don't really...
They don't
give us that.
They don't give us that. They don't show us that. They tell us that. They don't show us. I don't even know if they tell us that.
And it's like, they make the assumption, oh, we could kill him. But wouldn't he have gotten strong by then? It's like, why, if you're going back to Earth, go to a place that he wouldn't go to.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like, what was, like,
Yeah,
you clearly
go to Gigan's grave. Pay respect.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like, didn't they have information of Godzilla? I mean, to be fair, I think the novels do make mention that Haruo's parents tried to wipe the information they had on Godzilla for the Aratrums, so that way when they landed on another planet, we could just forget about him. And then Haruo winds up, that's why Haruo's the only special one who is like, oh, I have all this top secret data on Godzilla and whatnot.
Because my dad worked in Japan's government. My dad knows everything. He also works at Nintendo.
Basically.
He'll tell you the next 5 DLC characters for Smash.
Yeah.
Have I said my dad works at Nintendo?
Yeah, right.
And his mom works at Disney. She knows what the next Star Wars movie will be named.
Okay,
She'll tell you who dies in Endgame.
That's good. I like that spin. But yeah, this is... Planet Eater is just... I don't know. It's strange. It has every reason... Like, all 3 of these movies have every reason for me to hate them. But yet, I don't feel hatred to them. I feel indifference.
Again, it's like I said, Planet Eater is the only one I don't dislike because they actually talk about the consequences from the other 2 movies, albeit it's not that much, but they at least talk about it. There's at least Phyllis Lou to basically take over the ship. Again, not much is done with it.
Right.
But at least something. Ghidorah, there's a nice suspenseful scene where Ghidorah's like destroying the Eratrum. Ghidorah's actually
killing his on Earth, the scene where Ghidorah's shadow just rips apart everyone else. Fantastic. That was fantastic.
Oh, yes. I can't believe we forgot to mention that. That was amazing. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And again, Ghidorah, the first kaiju in the trilogy that is actually, I would say, good. Mm-hmm. Haruo kind of feels justified in some of the bitching at times.
Keyword being some.
Yeah, some. And feels like their stakes actually happen. Some. Again, compared to the other 2, this one's a fucking that didn't turn out to be crap. It was just meh, with some good moments in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just...
But it's, and it's like I said, you could have combined the first 2 movies, and then have, like, the Destroyers be the second one, then have Planet Eater be the last one. That way all the films could have had something going on.
Yeah, totally. Instead, movie 2 decides to retread movie 1 with the the whole Godzilla capture plan junk, basically note for note. With the vultures just being glorified versions of the bikes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Also, you gotta love how Haruo basically committed genocide on 3 races in the span of a weekend.
Basically. Oh my gosh, that's great. Anyway, Great Shot, as you were going to say something.
I was going to say, I think we've said said everything we can say about this.
No, we got to keep doing the techno babble like they did.
So why don't we move on? Because like this movie, I don't think there's much to say about it other than we're disappointed.
I think that's the general consensus, at least on.
We made up more. We discussed, or we found more ways to discuss it than the filmmakers had to create it. Like
basically,
hell,
I think
I know I'm tooting everyone's horn, including mine, but I think we could have made a better anime trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Even if there was like limitations we had to follow, I think we could have accommodated with some really interesting really, like, I mean, I think there are other ways around it if we couldn't have monster fights, you know?
Yeah, like focus more on the kaijin, like have. But since like going with the novels, we can have like the H-men, the Matongo people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're just
hell, I would actually wouldn't mind focusing like having a movie that focuses more on kaijin.
Yeah, totally. It would spruce it up some.
I know I'm sounding like a drama, but I'm drama whatever nerd or whatever. But I would really love to see how their civilizations are, how they view other races, people, how they form their own like stuff. That's always been more. That's kind of my main hook for this whole anime franchise. The people and how they react, all these different groups of people, how they mutate into these different species, basically.
Well, that was the pitch he had for a third novel. It's sadly not implemented in the 2 novels that he wrote. But
fuck you, Toho.
But yeah, freaking, like, let's face it, the novels are the best things in this trilogy. Like, if there's anything the anime series has brought us, it's the novels and the way it handles those monsters. My gosh, beautiful.
The Red Christmas Scourge just makes it go way more.
Yeah, it makes Dagara legitimately memorable somehow.
I aside from asking Toho to continue the Legendary series after the crossover, the thing I want the most from Toho is a full translation of the novel and a third novel with the kaijin.
Right. Or just getting the writer to, like, getting Reggie for an actual third novel and not the rewrite of movie 1 in novel form, which is what we got.
Yeah, we want the prequel novels translated.
Yeah, gosh darn it, yeah.
Because I don't want to sit here and read excerpts. I want to read the whole thing.
But you guys don't speak Japanese. You can't understand them.
No.
Hey, I know a little.
That's the thing. Plenty of American movies go across. I'm pretty sure, and they understand it fine. We see their movies, we understand it just fine. I think books are the same way. I think some things might be a little finicky, but I think at the end of the day, it still can be rewritten.
Also, I was extremely disappointed. I will say the biggest surprise from Planet Eater is how Ghidorah was starting to eat Godzilla's ass before Godzilla could get a chance to.
Big blast. And with that,
that really subverted my expectations.
Dang it.
I think I'd rather see 64 than have the whole anime trilogy again.
Yeah. Well, with that said, I think we can finally depart from the anime movies, because it's like...
Forever.
Basically.
And no, we're not having any of them in the KWC.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I think that's actually an interesting... Well, not an interesting topic, but more like a topic we should make clarity on. The anime monsters will not make it into the KWC. None of them.
Oh, yeah, they're never... none of them, never. They don't...
As I have made clear in the comments and the forums, they're too gimmicky. Like, everything they have is just attributed to something that's gimmicky. It's like, oh, Mechagodzilla is a city. Ghidorah can only be killed in this one specific way. It's like, no, it's like, as great as they are in concepts, they're not what I would call fighter monsters. Sure, Shin Godzilla is also not a fighter monster, but at least he has other things going for him that can make it feel like, oh, he could fight other monsters. Whereas the anime movie monsters are like the only things they have are their size, which even then feel mitigated by making everything else relative to scale. Strangely enough.
The only one I could make the art KWCE is Mechagodzilla. That's mainly for storytelling purposes, to where he could convert other kaiju to his influence, right, potentially.
Right. We're not going to be adding any of those characters into the KWC, but I think we could still have stories set in those worlds. We could still have KWCs where Mechagodzilla City is like, nanometalizing other monsters to make it part of its army in the same vein of like, Match 185 with the Matango. It's like, conceptually, you could do that. Yeah. I think that's fine. But...
Oh, I was mainly referring to the KWCE.
Right. Oh. Like, actual KWC, I would...
Godzilla City, the way to counter...
Right. But yeah, like actual KWC, I wouldn't mind if Mechagodzilla City had some like kind of like story element in like aspect to it. Like he has a strong influence over the story, but he's not going to be a fighter because he's a city. How could he?
I'll get there, you guys. Just give me 20,000 years to move 1 mile.
I know.
Yep.
I know how he. Can,
But yeah, no, countering doubling what Kaiju X said. They have no chance of entering the KWC.
show a Godzilla. Show a Mech.
Wasn't it good? I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Speak up, son.
I said fight is just make an army of show Mechagodzillas.
Ooh.
We could technically already do that, but what the heck? or
Yeah. And just make production faster.
True.
Yeah.
True. Very true. But yeah, I think it's like, yeah. KWC wise, just do not expect anime dudes. You could have like, the world set in there and whatnot, but like if they serve the story, fine. Or if you just want to use that environment, fine. But yeah, again, just doubling down what I said earlier and doubling down what Grayshot said, we're not having it.
Or if you want Yuko to get attacked by the worms or the tentacles in the background, you can do that.
Oh no.
That cat is freaking out. I don't know.
That's just Gracie.
She is freaking out. She doesn't even like the movie either. You can tell.
Yeah, if she was watching it, she would be one. Change it. Isn't that right, Gracie?
But yeah, with that, well, okay, now with the KWC aspect of it out, like, I'm still gonna make cards for these creatures, because I figure someone's gonna write something with them, but honestly, even I don't know what I would do with these guys. I know what I know what I want to do with them for the animated parody, but I don't know what to do with them in the KWCE.
I'll fit something.
Yeah, somebody figure out something eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody could make it like in a really engaging. Like you could write an engaging story with these kind of things. But
this might convince me to do a KWCE with Mecha.
Oh yeah, totally.
I might, if it's okay with you, I might take some creative, like stuff. I'm not saying like stuff outlandish. I'm just mainly talking about converting.
Oh yeah, that's
Kaiju
fine.
and all that stuff.
That'll probably be fine.
Because I really like Mechagodzilla City. It's just the X.
Yeah, totally. Just poorly executed.
I'm kind of excited about that now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Go for it, my man. I mean, I still have to get around to making the cards for him, but yeah, go ahead. So I'll just use the MMD video as a reference point because that has about like 98% of that's like 98% accurate to what the supplementary materials mentioned of Mechagodzilla. So it's like, okay, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the MMD version of Mechagodzilla is like canon.
But yeah, we should probably evacuate from that discussion like the Irrational did at the beginning of Planet Monsters.
Yeah, I think
but they failed.
Evacuate, more like depart. We are the Eratrum. We are about to go out into space for 20 years and basically just put Godzilla Earth behind us.
It's a good thing we don't have Saltman, otherwise he would murder us all.
Saltman's is Haro.
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't bring him to the ship.
There.
Very true. But here, do you guys want me to, since this is the end of 2018, do you guys want me to go over the biggest matches of the year?
This is the...
Yeah.
I mean, sure thing, but this is the beginning of 2019.
I know that.
Shot wasn't here last time, so he couldn't do it.
Oh, that's true. So, yeah, go ahead and take it over, my man.
To make up for last
Okay,
time.
cool. So yeah, the biggest... The big update, let me just update it. So the year's biggest matches are December 1st for 2018. We have at number 1, match 100. Kind of. Oh God, that cat is ticked.
No, she's actually purring right now.
Aww. But no, for the number of matches we have, number 100 is number 1 for the year. Runner up, we have match 211 as the second biggest match of the year.
Oh wow, sweet.
Nice.
Next up, we have match 225 as the third most watched match of the year.
Oh,
or red.
Another gray shot one.
Which one was that?
That was the EJ Sue banner, I believe.
Yes, Legion versus
Oh, that
versus
makes sense.
Ghidorah. Next up is match 220, the Man to Frankenstein and Trilopod match.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though Gray Shot missed the point at the ending.
At number 4, it's number 4. At number 5, we have match 200.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, we have match 216, which kind of makes sense because it was released right at the tail end of 2017.
Oh,
so
yeah. I can see that.
after that, at number 7, we have Angwir's Baran versus Bagan.
No, that one. I know that one.
Yeah. That's interesting one to be up there.
Yeah. After that, we have Biollante versus Space
Yeah.
Godzilla sitting in
Hey,
at number 8.
Ooh, yay!
Another good one.
Yep. Number 9, we have
Kaiju X.
Yeah, Kaiju X definitely deserved that one. That one's a really good match early. And then at number 9, we have match 56, the Bagan versus Everyone match.
Good first half.
Yep. And then we have number 10, Monster Heisei Hedora Showa, the round 2 version.
Oh, the round 2 version, right. Yeah, that was a good one. Surprisingly, I think that one was shorter than the original, somehow.
Yeah, that match is basically a soft at this point.
Yeah. Some other notes, just looking down, I won't go into any regards to, I won't keep counting them down. But Orga and Hell, for being released at the very end, was very close to making the top 10. Same thing with Godzilla Legendary versus Megalon and Godzilla Source versus Zilla. Some other highlights were Space Godzilla versus Gazora, Ganimus and Kamibus.
Amoeba Trio, right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, good.
And we also have trying to think about the bigger ones. Space Godzilla Trio, the Monster X versus Bagan was also up in the top 20. And so was Mechanicon Godzillasaurus versus Megumi. And the Godzilla Jr., one of the Godzilla Jr. Godzillasaurus, Titanosaurus, Spyler, Wargilgar, and Zandora. Oh, that's a mouthful.
Oh, that
Man,
one.
that list was longer than the V. Real.
I know, it's terrible. But yeah, those are all up on the list. So pat yourselves on the back, writers of all ages.
I pat myself.
And all genders.
Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, so those were the biggest matches of the year overall. To views, we were pretty much in line with what we had last year. So I think I was kind of scared this year wouldn't be as massive as the previous one, but I think for the most part it was actually we maintained the momentum, which was awesome to see.
Right, yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice to hear that. We're going strong. We still have a capable mind at the helm. If it were me, all this would have burned and died a long time ago. So,
no, I think we've had plenty of great matches, and and everyone is to thank for that. Not
right.
not just me.
Right.
It's certainly not just me.
Yeah, not just Gray Shot.
Yes, there are others who I will not name at this moment because I want to hug all the spotlight. But no, we've had plenty of awesome matches throughout the year. So, way to go, everyone!
Here's to another good one.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, here, I think we have a very promising year on our hands here. Godzilla's coming back in full force. This is the year of King Ghidorah, and all that fun stuff.
The year the anime trilogy died.
For good.
You're not wrong there. Actually, I think it's also going to
dang.
be the. Also, I think we should see a major tick because of Kingdom of Monsters. I think there's going to be a lot of people searching up those monsters.
So, what do you guys think of them toy leaks with the certain?
I'm not gonna lie. I expected when I didn't realize there were spoilers. I didn't realize the severity of the spoilers. So when I got spoiled. I clicked on it. I was like, oh, so yeah.
I think I'm gonna try and not mention it for the people who want to see it for themselves. I'll admit, when I saw it, it was like, oh, okay, so that is gonna be a thing. But even then, I still have more questions than answers. So it's like, okay, because
are you really spoiled by it?
Right. It's only this is a thing, but we have no context or any plot related. Like, it is a spoiler, but it's not a spoiler.
That's a good way to describe it. That's about. It wasn't as bad as I want, but I was like, oh.
It was still it's still something that's like I wish I wouldn't have. It's something that's like I can understand if you didn't want to know it, but it's also not bad if you knew it either. It's like it doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah,
we should really get those masks, Godzilla masks, and rob bank.
Wait, what?
You know all the toy lines. You see the Godzilla.
Oh
mask?
yeah.
I'll put those on and rob a bank.
Oh my gosh.
Let's not. The KWCC does not support robbing banks. Thank you.
Only,
Yeah, we do.
Only Alex does.
We needed to fund our version of the anime trilogy. Or you could always support us on Patreon or Kickstarter or on Applebee's.
Wait, we're on those platforms now?
Yes.
Yep.
I've gotten in contact with Applebee's, and we're going to be making stuff for them again, Gray Shot. So they say they missed you.
So you're rehired.
They said they missed you, man.
And they want you to go straight towards.
Oh, what do you
drugs
know?
again?
Okay. I was a server. That's all I did.
Hey,
I don't know where you got in your mind that I did anything else.
Hey, you were more than a server. You made they could ever.
I did no such thing.
They need you.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Applebee's isn't the same without you.
They'll be fine.
No, we need the drugs again. Those drugs are going to help motivate our cast and crew. Oh, Gracie. Isn't that right, Gracie?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to avoid that entirely.
She wants to write a match. Gracie the cat's going to write a match.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, she's already typing.
Oh, boy. I think she's... Who knows? She might inspire you to write again.
Hey, has anyone played the game yet?
Wait, what?
Alex's cat versus Peg.
Oh, she's up for the challenge.
Oh boy. But yeah, what were you saying to go to? Like the game?
Oh, did anyone play the ROM hacking and DeviantART game?
I
If
haven't.
not, then I guess I can just show a shot.
Yeah, sure.
Are you-
I don't mind.
Yeah, great. Because I'll just post it in. I'll try posting it in off top.
Okay. Otherwise,
okay,
that was all I brought to the KWC. So, does anyone else have anything to bring up?
I don't think so. Honestly, I think we covered a lot of really good bases. So, like, we covered a lot of KWCs. We had Gray Shot's opinion on the matter. We had, we talked about Planet Eater. Yeah, overall, I think we covered everything we needed to, and in the 2-hour time limit. So, yay. Yeah.
Yay.
Well, sweet then.
This episode was sponsored by Crunchyroll.
So,
Type in Applebee's to get a 50% off
This
this month.
Oh wow, is that? Oh my gosh!
What?
Wow.
What is it?
Looking the off topic.
How's this great shot?
No, I mean I see it. I just don't know.
Oh, cool.
It's Gray Shot.
Oh,
It's a Gray Shot as a trainer.
and Nikilde,
Congratulations, great shot.
I can't believe
You
you.
are the leader of the.
I can't believe you made a character of him before me. Your own.
Haha.
Don't
Take that.
Don't you understand though, Alex? Sometimes your worst product will always be your first one. Everything else later will be better. Oh, man.
How could you betray me, son?
Don't worry.
You would be surprised how easy.
That's. I think Kaiju guys.
Grisha, you seduced him, didn't you?
So,
I have done no such thing.
is that-
Slips money under the
Yes.
counter. But anyway, with that said, I think this will conclude this month's KWCC.
image was shot.
In the meantime, we will see you. Everyone have a happy new year, and we'll see how this year plays out. We hope it's a good one, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, someone get the ice pick ready.
Get the what ready?
And remember, make sure you subscribe to provide you all of your favorite episodes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Alex. I almost couldn't hear what you're saying because you keep cutting out.
Your cat's being too cute.
Yes.
Oh.
I think Gracie's saying is what you're trying to say. Subscribe to Crunchyroll / Applebee's.
Hashtag Gray Shot's bitter towards the anime trilogy. Like
Hashtag
we all are.
But
But yeah, what a goddamn disappointment as a whole.
Yep.
well, actually, I lied. The anime trilogy will continue in a very, very different form. Wink. Anyway.
Yay.
Oh.
If you've seen the trailer, you know what we're...
Kaiju,
Oh.
Yep. Well, guys, I gotta go. I'll catch you all later.
Catch you later, man.
See you, man.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah.
And that will end it for this episode. Been your host, Alex Williams. We'll see you next time.
Huh?
Bye.